Good morning. Good morning. It's 2:53 a.m. on my way to that favorite destination spot. Talk about fear and worry. How those things are avoidable. I remember specifically sitting in holding tanks and sitting in reception centers of prisons. And you would always have people sitting there. Some people in there for murder, some people in there for shoplifting, some people in there for homeless people. You just find all types of individuals inside the jail system. And one thing that you can always spot is a couple people always soliciting advice from people inside the cell with them. Hey man, I'm in here for shoplifting, man. What you think's gonna happen to me? Just follow me on this. Hey man, I'm in here for I stole a car, man. What you think's gonna happen to me? And these people, you'll get about 20 different opinions while sitting inside of that jail cell, and you'll have them telling you what they homeboy done went through and how they done, what the judge did to them and how that all worked out for them. You'll have that happen. The truth of the matter is their situation ain't like your situation. But because people have that overriding need to try to fix or remedy that feeling of fear, they'll solicit advice from anywhere, which not only prolongs the fear, but it gives it additional firepower to believe that it's legitimate, and it's not. The Bible talks a lot about being still, calm down, sit down, be quiet. It's because our tendency to want to get out of that sense of feeling of fear and anxiety and the unknown causes us to ask all the wrong questions to all the wrong people about a situation that is only unique to us. We are some self-destructive individuals, I'll tell you that much. By nature. And the problem is nobody will question themselves, so they just keep walking around with that same self-destructive behavior and attitude and mentality. It's almost like somebody with a cold. Like, dude, you got a cold. Why is you coming out in public, touching everybody, smoking on everybody's cigarette, drinking off their drink, coughing all in your hand, shaking people's hand? Why? It's because they're not aware of how terrible their cold is and how bad it would be if it was to infect somebody else. We like to just think that we're okay. We're all right. We're good. Don't worry about it. People live in fear because they don't know how to question what's going on inside their mind. They don't know how to calm that down. Sit down. Be quiet. Stop soliciting everybody for advice. You're in a sinking boat trying to ask the person next to you how to get out. Stop it. I'm not saying don't be human. I'm saying stop it. I'm saying question the reason why the fear is there in the first place. That's it. You don't have to ask somebody else. I mean, hell, if you over the age of 30, you've already had enough experiences where you could probably reflect back on something similar to it and come to a conclusion that shit will pass, that shit passed, this too will pass. Right? But rather than take that responsibility, because that's what it boils down to, is taking responsibility, you think somebody else has the cure for it. You think somebody else has an answer that's better than the one that you've already come to the conclusion about. I'm getting ready to do a solo skydive. It scares the shit out of me. It doesn't scare me because of the fall. The fall's fine. I know that I have plenty of time before I hit the ground to make a decision about pulling the cord to let my parachute go. That's not what fears me. What fears me is the sound that the door makes when it opens up. And I think that if you ask most people who've jumped out of a plane, they'll tell you the only part that fears, where the fear creeps in, is when the door opens up. But I gotta believe that this fear is no different than a fear that you're dealing with, an anxiety you're dealing with. The only difference is you just have to put it in perspective and say it's just the door opening up. Happens to be kind of high in the air door opening up, but it's just a door opening up nevertheless. And somebody asked me, why am I doing this? Because I have a thrill of challenging myself to do the most. I asked my son if he was going to come watch it, my youngest son. He says, oh no. I say, why? He said, man, I don't want to see that. I said, why? You think I'm going to get hurt? He says, no. I said, all right, well then you're going to come look? He was like, yeah. See, he was scared for me. But as the adult, all I had to do was reassure him that everything was going to be all right. And as the person who's already been through that, if you're at least at the age of 30, then you already know, you already have some formulas tucked down in here and in here that would give you the power to overcome the fear. But I'll give you a tool before I cut this video short on how to overcome fear. The moment whatever it is strikes a chord to your heart, take action on it. Whether it's introducing yourself to a female that you like or a man that you like. Whether it's knocking on that door to get a house for sale. Whether it's calling on a client that you've been anxious to work with. The way you remedy fear is by taking immediate action on it and throw caution to the wind. That's it.